Namaste, welcome everyone to Satsang this morning. I'm very happy to see you again fresh each day. And of course, welcome to the many friends who are joining us via broadcasting. Big welcome to you, and so that we can have your presence with us also in these live satsangs here in Rishikesh. So, may I remind you again, that rather than just putting your hand up and coming and just speaking at length about maybe a story or something, that you feel what your question is, and treat each satsang as though it is the only chance you have, the only opportunity you have to really win freedom, you may say, or to clarify some misunderstanding, clarify some doubts or something, so that we can really have a proper exchange that will unfold in the highest auspiciousness as possible. So, if I feel the questions are too much holding inside the person, then I will stop you. I may give you a next chance, but I want you to really be focused. Yesterday I spoke a little bit about the different kinds of questions that people ask. That broadly, there is the category of questions which I call knowledge questions, pertaining to information that I can give about this thing or that thing. It is okay. But here in this short span of time and opportunity we have here in Rishikesh, I'd rather hear more what I call freedom questions, meaning that there's an urge inside, and there may be some seeming obstacle that blocks the sense of openness or coming through or falling back into the source, and we can look at that, and I can then guide your attention to the place which I call obvious. So, thank you for that. Let's go. You please come.
Namaste, Bushi.
Namaste to you. It's okay. Leave that. Let them get on with it.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you.
Thank you.
I don't really have a very much big question, but every time I feel there's a very big, strong feeling that needs to be expressed, and that's why I just got up to see if I talk to you, if it can be expressed. And
yes, and you say it is a feeling. You sense it. That is a feeling that needs to be expressed. It has been expressed in the past.
For me, it's the emotion that I feel and also when I sit long time in satsang, sometimes it feels like the energy is becoming more and more.
Yes.
And there's also something.
And what do you feel like doing when it's rising? What do you want to do?
Well, I try sometimes not to identify and just stay focused.
Yes.
But if I really feel these feelings, it feels actually much better. I feel it's more. Something is getting free then,
Okay.
So that's the whole thing, I think.
Okay. What is important, and you touched on it, is that even such a very strong sensation that comes,
yes,
you are aware of it, no?
Yes.
You're aware of it, and you try not to feed into it too much, but it is present, And
Yes.
energetically, it cannot be ignored. It's there.
Yes.
And it is now traveling up. It wants to be expressed, either as you're doing through words. Sometimes people have to shout or something. It may happen. And then it passes. Very often, we see people sometimes in satsang and they're like this.
Yes.
And something is coming and others next to them, whoa.
Yeah, that happens also, yes.
It is okay, it's okay, it is okay. And but no further attention is given to it, no story is formed around it. So it is allowed just to be expressed. And you keep your attention inside that stable place. So there should be more a state of neutrality and rest. That is the abiding place of the mind, is to be at rest, not always in gear, but a kind of neutrality, an expansiveness, or a spaciousness. You see? Very often when we are thinking too much or very much, it's because there is little trust in life. And so we're strategizing. The mind gets into a mode of thinking what's next, or assessing constantly your state and chattering, also this type of thing, which I encourage that you are aware of it, but keep the attention resting inside the stillness. And in a short time, you will begin to experience that you are very well and satisfied here. The chattering mind is thinning away. Why? Because it needs your interest, identity, belief to sustain itself. Otherwise, it just melts away. One time it will come when the psychological mind its voice will become insignificant for you. You will hardly notice it, as your inner sense is more a space of serenity, of silence, joy, completeness. So this observing is very important for everybody, that you don't identify with the traffic of sensations that come in the being, in the body, in the mind, that you're aware of them, but don't give too much importance to them. Don't get involved in them. But at the same time, don't close yourself off. Don't be tight. You can relax. The eyes can be open, the senses can be open, but they are not shopping for sensations. Then what happens is, very often the psychological mind or the personal mind is feeding from impressions that it is seeing externally, feeding. And so your energies are always spent outwardly. But as you begin to give more attention to that root feeling of being, the pull to go out will become less and more replaced by a feeling of stability, of silence and joy. Activities will still happen, but there will be less story around them. Eventually, you will see that your life comes back to a beautiful spontaneity again. Feel more intuitive, more connected with and in harmony with the flow of existence. Yet internally, total serenity and peace. It has already begun for many and continues to become stronger and more stable, you see. So there's room for expressions come. We don't have to even analyze them, you see. When the time comes to look more deeply into a sensation or to more analytically, you will intuitively get the sense, I want to look at this, rather than you feel commanded to be picking up everything and studying everything, which leaves a kind of a noise inside your being. So natural state of mind is to be in this beautiful neutrality, resting, you see? And when these sensations are sometimes very strong, some Shakti is coming, but still it can be expressed without any noise, without any inner disturbance. It is just allowed to be expressed, and no spiritual significance is given to it. It's okay. Now you look very calm and peaceful.
Yes. Okay.
You're like this most of the day?
Sorry.
You're like this most of the day?
You mean the satsang?
This silence that I feel in you now. Throughout the day, this is your...
Yes.
Very good. Very good.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good. Someone on this side here. You, there, yes.
I want to see me. Please help me to see myself.
Yes. This seeing oneself must be understood more deeply. It's not a seeing of one thing seeing another thing. When we speak about the recognition of the self, seeing yourself, finding yourself, is not one thing experiencing another thing. So it's not the classic feeling of seeing or perceiving oneself. It begins maybe as a duality, but it finishes as a unity, a harmony, where there's not other. Other perishes in this looking, you see. So I am going to address your question. Did you say, I want to see, discover myself? What was your question? What did you say?
I want to discover myself.
To discover yourself, yes. Can you say that you are yourself? When you say that I am just being myself, what does it mean? Because different people mean different things. This is just me, I'm just being myself. But that has different layers. Sometimes we say, I'm just being myself. I'm just letting things happen as they do. Is that yourself? Well, it is an expression arising from yourself. But the self, you must come to see. It is not an object that can be perceived through the senses or even with the mind. Can I say again? The self, when we say we are searching, we are on a search for truth or the self, our truest being. It will not be a discovery by one thing for another thing. There's not two things. Like, okay, I found the self and I've got it, I keep it here. There will not be this. That is ignorance. Finding the self and being the self amounts to the same thing. The self is not an object. It cannot be perceived in that way. If we perceive some phenomenon, say something fantastic, you may say, wow, this is amazing, wow. Let's imagine if someone, a being from the heavens somehow come here and says, my child, I have heard your prayers and have come to answer them. You have a longing to find yourself. I have brought yourself to you today. Okay? Behold. And suddenly, whoa! Enormous blazing with light, shining, radiant. 100 arms. Maybe that's not so attractive, I don't know. Whatever would be impressive for you. And whoa, amazing. But after a little bit, you'll be saying, it's very amazing, but it cannot be me because I'm here looking at it. I am here looking at it. So it has to be different from me. How can it be me? And even yourself, who say you came to bring myself, I was here already when I saw you coming. Who can I be? So I can see this image that you have presented of the self is very beautiful, angelic, shining with light of a million suns. But I'll have to confess it cannot be what I am because I'm here to see it also. I'm also here to see this body. So this body is not the seeing place. So this body I can see, my thoughts I can see, my sensations I can see, my memory I can see, the functioning of intellect I can see. All these appear in front of me. But I who perceive them, how can I be seen? I can perceive the body and its function. I can perceive the sense of myself as a person that is also perceived, meaning that these cannot be the essential seer. They are appearances. I want you to understand that because then it will clear the way for a much more purer understanding. In the Bible, it said in the beginning that Moses went onto a mountain and there he saw a burning bush. Bush is burning, blazing with fire and light, no? But the tree was not burning. And then a voice came and said, remove your shoes because now you're walking on holy ground. He said like this. So, walk now. Then this voice is speaking to him. So, he's looking at this voice coming from the burning bush. Is the burning bush God? No, it is not. It is only an image that will give him enough faith and enough trust in the language of his mind that he could understand. And then he said, I met God. But God is not burning bush. Any image you see, ultimately it is not you. It is only an object of perception. Then what perceives these objects, even in their subtlest forms or expression, what is perceiving them? Because there are some impressions, some sensations, they are so subtle, that they don't exist as words yet or as concepts. Still, they are perceived inside consciousness. Space, perhaps the most subtle of the elements. We sense space, but nobody can write the history of space. Space is beyond mood. You cannot say the space is feeling very moody today. It has no feelings like that. Or the space is, this is Wednesday's space, or Thursday. It has no references like that. Yet you can perceive space. So therefore, the perceiver of space must be even subtler than space. And this perceiving power is arising here in you. What is it in you that is perceiving? even your form, your identity, your wishful thinking, memory, all this it is perceiving. Yet it is beyond them. Not beyond like in distance, but beyond in subtlety. Can this be seen, that which is perceiving through the senses and the mind? Can it also be seen? These questions I put to you now, these are immediate questions. You don't have to take them away. You can also, but you don't have to take them away. As we are speaking, and your consciousness, the intellect of your consciousness, is scanning inside to see if it can confirm the words and the things you are hearing, then this is immediate sadhana. The words are pointing somewhere. When you look outside, you see a world of names and forms. When you close your eyes and look inside, what do you see? Are you seeing lungs and spleen and bone? No. You see a vastness, isn't it? Inside, when you say inside, you're not merely inside the body, but you're inside the consciousness. And yet, consciousness is beyond inside and outside. You might be getting a little sense of the greatness of being, the majesty of being. Now imagine that even such a hint of the magnificence of consciousness is condensed into the form of only a person. Then you begin to see how much you are missing. A person with their daily troubles. Oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. What do you think of the government's rule about this? And blah, 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 blah. In the face of the might of the universe. But I am not speaking merely about physical universe, but the universe which somehow is appearing through the seed of this consciousness that is here, that can perceive all things. And yet also it is beyond being a thing. You say, I want to see myself, I want to find myself. Who is the I who wants to find the self? Who is the I and who is the self that it seeks to find? Are they two things? We are convinced when we feel the feeling of ourself. You say, I am here, you know you're here. I'm sitting, you know you're sitting. You're referring to your body is sitting. You say, I am here. Who is it that is here? Just personality? No. Consciousness. Consciousness says, I'm here. I am here. I want to find my source. I want to find my completeness. Then in order to come back to your completeness, you must see that which is only images appearing in front of you. You must see them, that they are just like clouds passing in the sky. And don't combine yourself with them for a moment. If you are not attached to anything, any form, any ideology, any belief system, not attached to the body, you can do now as I speak. If you are not attaching for this moment to past or to the sense of future or even to the sense of now in terms of what is happening, let them happen. Let the senses function. But don't combine anything with your inmost sense. And don't be waiting or expecting anything. Simply be totally empty of intention. When you're totally empty of intention, also all tensions are going also. What is here? What is here beyond choice? What is here? What is here? Just by itself. This is the vibration of the self. This is the vibration of presence, of consciousness that is being experienced inside this form. But mind, which is another aspect of consciousness, also brings many doubts and confusion. But how can I stay here? How can I stay? Who is staying here? Who is the who in here? Except merely the idea you have of who you are. And this is not an idea. This that is here is not an idea. It simply is. It is not a reading. It is not a temperature. It is not a mood. It is not belonging to time. Listen with your heart. Be very present with what I'm speaking. What is here? And who are you who is able to perceive this most subtle? Is there a separation here? You have the sense of self, but this sense of self is also appearing in this great space of being. And they're one. Mind says, but I am a guy, a local man living here and there, and I've got a family, I've got a job. I can't be that. Conditioning speaking. Conditioning being observed also. From the same space. Please check in. This is not a lecture. Please check in and see. See and feel and be. Yesterday I said, you may take one path to go to the top of a mountain, but when you are sitting on top of a mountain, you can see all the paths coming. But while you're coming up, you can only see your path. But when you're on top, you can see all paths. When you're sitting in the height of your own being, you can see all these things, all these sensations, all these ideas. They come and go, but they're not a strain for you. You're perceiving. Who are you? In whatever form you may engage to study yourself, if it's through the mainstream religions or through some discipline or yoga or meditation, whatever form you come, you must come to this point. You must come to that inmost place, unmixed. Experience it. Don't listen to the mind speaking about it. For all our lives, we have been listening to what the mind has to say about life and about you. But now you must leave him and just be. And tell me if you have a story here. Do you need one? For much of our lives, our influences have been emotional, mental, psychological, things we hear and experience through sense and mind. But you're much more than that, beyond that. Today you may discover something. Not create, because you cannot create the self. Nobody can help the self nor perfect it. It is already perfect. If you try to perfect something, it's to try and perfect your ego. Nobody can perfect the self. It is always perfect. If something feels imperfect, it is only the body-mind idea of who you are, not your true self. So here, the emphasis is on discovering rather than learning and practice and doing and getting, but more on seeing and understanding and recognition. So, just with what I've told you, I would like you to sit. You've understood my words. Sit with it for a little bit. Let them get digested somehow. Give space for them and sit in it. Marinate in the understanding. Not just think. Okay? Can I hear from you a moment?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
My mind wanted to rehearse what to say. I guess I wanted to stand in front of you and confirm.
Okay?
I've noticed a lot of things falling away, the sense of person falling away. And when I look to try to find the person, it's not there.
It's not there. Okay, let's start first this thing. So, the sense of the person has accompanied you for a very long time. We have defended it because the person brings the feeling of vulnerability, insecurity also, selfishness. And for a while we identify with these qualities and even protected them. The sense of vulnerability, when something seems to come, something protects this feeling of vulnerability. But somehow you begin to sense that actually I'm not that. And even this identity of a person is such a severe limitation, and also it almost always is giving wrong readings about life. So you begin to recognize, as I said yesterday, you must begin to discern the difference between yourself and your thinking, yourself and mind. As you begin to recognize the traffic of thoughts are just arbitrary, they're just coming, they come from nowhere, they go nowhere, but they only become something when they're picked up and identified with. And you see that you have a power within yourself to identify with them, and then they get produced into what you may call thinking, identity, and so on. Then some maturity has blossomed in you enough to say, I don't want now. I begin to see the person and it's falling away. Its grip is falling away. Who is this person been holding on to? Whose life is being blocked by egoity? Then you begin to say, there is a space, and that is not ego. Now you are reporting these weaknesses, those limitations, they seem to be falling by themselves. And I look for this ego, cannot find it. So the ego, you say, I cannot find him. Then I'm asking, who is making this discovery also? What is making this discovery that the ego doesn't really exist, because I look very, very well, but I don't see. This is first great step. The ego, this chatter, this journalist inside is always monitoring things and sometimes telling you, sometimes heckling you also. Hey, you're not going to make it, you're an idiot, you're a fool. And who is this guy? And you realize, I am not that. So the first understanding that this ego seeming entity cannot be found when it's looked for. When it's not looked for, it seems it's there and it's strong and it's present and functional. When it's searched for, it cannot be found. Who has been searching for it? Who is seeing that the ego cannot be found? Can this one be found? You may say it is perhaps the intelligence of the self is looking and seeing that the thing it was identifying with for so long doesn't really exist. It cannot stand up under the scrutiny of real looking. Ye just vanish. We have been trying to find freedom, discover who we are from the position of the earthbound mind, the earthbound body, the ego, personality. It has not been possible. It's one struggle after another. You cannot find the pure self while existing as an ego. Sri Ramana Maharishi made a beautiful example. He gave it like this. He says, trying to find the truth while being the ego is like catching a thief and putting a policeman's uniform on the thief, and then sending this thief out, who is dressed as a policeman, to catch the thief who is himself. Again, he says, it is like that. Using ego to try and catch ego or to find the self is like putting a policeman's uniform onto a thief and then sending this strange policeman to go and catch the thief who is himself. Of course, he loves it. Perfect disguise. How he runs and he blows his whistle. Running. When people are looking, he's very busy, but he will never catch the thief because he is the thief. So until somebody comes and says, I'm looking for this thief, and I'm looking for this thief, officer. But officer, can I look at you? Officer, no, just talk over there. Then someone said, but he looks a bit like you. No, what are you talking about? How dare you? I'm a policeman. Show respect. Blah, blah, blah. You'll catch him. So it will not happen while we have this strong belief that we are the person trying to find the super person. Freedom will not be for the ego. Freedom is freedom from the ego. You are discovering that this person, as the more I see, he doesn't exist actually. So now something is very clear, that this ego identity, it doesn't really exist. Still sometimes he seems to exist, but now you have a greater authority to look and say, no, but it's just a seeming, it's not true, forget about it. The one who is making this discovery is what, as I said before, it must be the intelligence of the being that is seeing, no, I am not that. Sometimes I refer to you as the recovering consciousness. I refer to this stage of seeing as the recovering consciousness. For a while, consciousness has been living under the hypnosis that it is merely a person. It has painted a kind of self-portrait of itself as a person, a very limited impression of its greatness. Lived inside this very limited, contracted state, and after a while it wants to outgrow. It's outgrowing this association, even not wanting it. When that begins, then somehow you start to see, no, I'm not this, I'm not that. So this far you've come now. So, okay, speak on, let me hear.
What I've been finding is that as that's fallen away, life is starting to unfold on its own.
Yes.
And a lot of things that I've heard you say over the last year and a half are being confirmed.
Yes.
And it suddenly pops back into my mind. Oh, I remember when he said that. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. And it's beautiful because it seems like the less of me there is, the more these things are coming by themselves without me trying to do it and with concentration or anything else.
Yes.
It just seems to be
Beautiful.
an unfolding. And I wanted to say one more thing. After the London satsangs I watched live, there was a point when I was contemplating after one of the satsangs, and it was very clear as I asked, can this see or be seen? I just kept going backward, back, and I couldn't go any further back. And there was just seeing.
Yes.
And of course, mind came in and wanted to say, you got it. And I saw, and kind of turned away from that. And so since then, it's been, I guess, just a process of inquiry happening more automatically, and then resisting the urge to be a me who claims I have it. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to
Because the me who would claim I have it is also perceived. And so in that seeing, you see, but even that is only some kind of setup, some kind of scenario. It is not the truth. You see? But it feels intimate. Why? Because there's still the sense of a me who is doing it. That is very, very deep. You see? In some way. It is not yet clear that even although something feels, but I'm still here. I can feel it in the blood. I can feel it's running in my veins. It's in my breath. I am me. You see? Yes. You're speaking also as presence also. But even here also, presence also is perceived. The fact goes before the experience. The fact goes that it is perceived. And if it is perceived, something is perceived, it means that it is cognized in a deeper thing. What is perceiving this? You see? This is not merely a mental question. It will not just be answered by some theorist. Only the one who is here in the heart. Yes, that heart is going to subside into that completeness, you see. Don't get pictures like, boom, you vanish, That was the last we saw of him. You understand? It's not going to be like that. But something, some bone in the throat of consciousness is going to get coughed out. Oh, good, it's out. And this bone has a self-portrait. Let's not strive too hard for these things. It is enough if you can keep confirming that all these ideas about yourself, every autobiography is a limitation. Anything you can say, even if you are the greatest egotist and you're writing a bestseller about yourself, you're a legend in your own mind. Still, whatever you write is a limitation of what is. And also ill-conceived, because no one can write about the Absolute except as a fiction. And only someone who believes in fiction will be entertained by that fiction. In fact, in your absoluteness, you are beyond the field of concepts also. I want to talk about this because there's a lot of kind of fear comes up for people, think almost like, you're taking away my oxygen, like there's no place to express. Actually, that's not true. All this that you see, all our capabilities, our capacity, our potential, our knowledge and experience has emanated out of that which itself has no history. It is too fresh for history. And it is you. It is ourself. But it will not do to only believe that. Here is your chance. It is not merely a waiting room. It's a waking room. You have to wake up to this understanding. How you wake up? Just in the same way that we're looking and you are following internally. I'm not giving you a new belief system or forming a new ideology. This is far too beautiful for such a limitation. Don't try and study everything. Find the one thing and it will reveal everything. If you care to know. And you cannot know everything. There is no such thing. You have come to a very beautiful point. You have said that now your living question, most other questions not coming now, your living question is that which is perceiving everything, internally and externally and in all possibilities, that itself, can it also be perceived? And with that question, no mental answer will satisfy you. This question and the urge to discover its significance and its meaning is destroying all delusion in you. Not everyone is up for that, but some are, because you already sense the beauty of self-discovering. You already sense that you're in the right place, that the more you lose of what you are not, the more you are of what you are. The more you lose of you, the more there is of you. But it's a different kind of, it's not even more, it's boundless in fact. But the more you become to appreciate and to experience. while you are in one state, it's very difficult, impossible, to assess that state, to understand it, because you have no comparison. Only when you are leaving that state into another state, you can look and say, wow, that was very intense. That was very limiting. Only on the verge of that transition, you can evaluate where you have been or where you're coming from. And this is one of the, what you may say, may make it seem more difficult, because we all sometimes feel, well, I could just get a little bit more, but I'm fine where I am. You see? Only as you begin to experience the deeper space of being within your own self, then somehow a deep longing for completeness arises inside your being. You see? You have come to that place. Stay with this question, but watch the one who keeps getting formed into a person each time. Like, yes, I think I've got it. You must see that when it arises in that questioning, yes, I think this is it. That this which says, yes, this is it, is only a voice. See if you can find the one who is speaking. Nobody is speaking. It's just a voice that comes. And something goes, so that must be it. The depth is not reacting. There's no reaction coming from the pure self. It is so totally perfect, in fact. But something keeps saying, yes, so that's what it is. That voice, don't trust. If you don't trust it, you being what? That absoluteness. And a power that arises from the absoluteness, a potential to believe in something. A power to identify. These are your great powers. The power to believe, the power to identify, the power of interest, the power to project. These are powers that you must understand in yourself. You are subtler than them also. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very good. You? Sometimes I point to one, but you so I just take it that you don't want it enough. If you're looking to see, is it someone else? No, it's you. And I say, so, okay, you speak.
Namaskar, beloved Mudiji.
Namaste.
I come to check in. I see mind, no problem. There's like personality, maybe like balloon, inside, outside, same. I have a request. I come to check in. If it's enough, you tell me you go sit. Again.
Well, I've seen you a number of times, and by now your admission that you see mind, and of course you will see that. I expect more than that from you.
Yeah.
That the mind is just a sensation arising as thought, and you know that, okay, that's not what you're here to.
No.
It should take a few seconds to know that.
Yeah.
And that personality is another. Why you even talk about it, it must be that you have some interest in that.
No.
But if there's no interest in something, then it doesn't register in your consciousness. Everybody knows this.
Yes.
Suppose everything you see, you had to remember. So everything you looked at, your mind took a photograph of it. Everything you heard, save. You'd be a mess, isn't it? There's something in your ordinary consciousness as you're walking around Rishikesh. There's so many impressions. There's so many things you could see. So many things are seemingly, auditioning for your attention. No? And yet you come all the way to satsang, you sit down, you're not disturbed. Why? Because you're more interested to be here than to be looking at some cow lying in the street or some new things or some, you see? So your consciousness is filtering all those things away anyway. Without you even consciousness, can you do this? No, you don't have to transcend something that has no meaning for you. You see? Because it doesn't touch you. It doesn't register in consciousness. So if you talk about something, it's because you have some interest with this. You see? And this is really in the very heart of spirituality, in fact, that you begin to see you're interested in less and less. It doesn't mean you hate the world, you're rejecting life. It's not the things in themselves, but what they become to mean for you. The things are innocent in themselves, but what your mind take them to be for you, that's where the trouble starts. You see? And then it creates a kind of a person out of yourself and a relationship that only exists in your mind in this way, which is fine. You know, we are here to play like this also. But you're not here to play like this only. And so these things, you see the mind, and yeah, yes, we know now. For you, you should do. Personality, what is that? It's okay, you know. You should not know about your personality. Other people know about your personality. You should not know anything about what personality. Is your personality? I don't know. What is my personality? How can you know your own personality unless you are super ego-centered? People say, oh, you're such a kind and you're so open, so you know, you're so attractive. Really? Oh, okay. What do you know about it? Unless you look in the mirror and goes, wow. You know, you don't know nothing about it. So for many people, they continue seeing like this they don't know anything about anything particularly to talk about. They're only resting in being. And somehow, from the state of being, they find that the things that need to get done gets done. Why? Because it's the universe doing it. It's a universe business. You know when you are doing something, you know, it's the universal action that's doing it. But your ego is signing the check all the time. Yes, that's me. But there is no such thing. This is the play of the universal consciousness. But the ego says, I do it. So for you, you should see yes, this,
Yes.
no. Yeah. So then what is left is what I'm wanting to converse with.
Time.
Time.
Time is left.
If time is left, leave time. Meaning
So
leave.
this is only one more concept
Huh?
of mind. This is just one more concept of mind. Time.
I don't want to speak so lightly because I don't think you're as light as your words are implying. We should not just say like that. Yeah, but time's just a concept. And then when your wages are late, oh my God! Yes. We can. If you speak something, you must be totally with that thing now. Because many people they have learned to speak this kind of talk, which is a bit more Advaita. You know, nothing exists, and it's not true. It doesn't ring true. You have been here long enough. You have been inside your own satsang. I want you to speak from the authority of your own understanding.
Can you ask me one question?
What are you sure about? Do you know anything that you can say, this I'm sure about?
I am that.
That meaning what?
Consciousness.
Are you that plus? Then this is exactly what I mean. If you are the consciousness, then consciousness is not concerned about personality.
Personality, no problem. I feel this consciousness is perceived somehow You know?
Say again, consciousness
Consciousness
is
is perceived. So if this perceiving is happening through this body,
Yeah.
if this body stops, dies, where is consciousness? This consciousness is still there, but there's something inside.
Well, if you want to experience that answer, then maybe die first and see what happens.
Yeah, I cannot tell you after, that's why. I cannot tell nobody after.
You must have by now had sufficient experience to know that consciousness cannot die. You must have seen enough like that. That at best what may happen is that the forms may change, or it becomes, it expresses in a subtler way or something. But you must know beyond merely intellectual conviction that consciousness is not the body. The body, it is not perishable, it is not objective, that you can say it is subject to time. This is something that is not speculative for you. You must know this.
I know.
Then if you know it, then be with your knowing. Your knowing and you must be wanting.
Thank you.
You see? And these questions, they will be coming from the mind. What happens when the body dies? What happened when the body dies? You need to live fully.
Yeah.
You need to kill death. Who can kill death? First find out death is for whom. You see, your meditation, your introspections, your inquiry is enough to satisfy these questions. When you do them, sit and find out, okay, what dies? Analyze it and look. Okay, the body, somehow the vital force stops. It doesn't want to be in the body anymore. It doesn't want to be in the body anymore. And it will leave the body. When it leaves the body, and then all the energies begin to deconstruct, decompose. Everything is going there. If it leaves the body, then it is not the body. Isn't it? When I was a young boy, I remember growing up and seeing dead bodies. One time, one of my aunties from the country, she came to visit with her new baby, and they asked me to give up my bed. Okay, I didn't want to. Sorry, it was true. I didn't want to give up my bed, to sleep on the sofa. Okay, and she came with the baby, sleep in my bed. In the morning, the baby was dead. In my bed. And that was my feeling, oh, no, I can't sleep in my bed, and all this kind of stuff, you know. So, this, I'm looking and seeing also people I know, and they pass away. And I had this terror inside, like there's somebody dead in the body. I said, oh, no. I said, no, why it has to be like that? I don't want to do that. Why all this life just becomes horrible now? Because like, if at the end I'm going to... I said, I don't want to look like that. Okay? So it started with this thing looking. There's somebody dead in the body, trapped by death in a body. I thought, no. This is terrible thing. No? And then at some point I saw the last breath. Is it in or out? Can you imagine going? It's horrible, isn't it? It means that the one who took it is still in there. But the last breath, gone. And so you are not the body that died. That was a very, very important thing for me, because until then, whenever I saw dead body, You see? Last breath. Is it in or out? You see? The pure consciousness also has no breath. Absolute has no breath. It is not breathing. It ordered the vital force that it must accompany consciousness in the body to animate. It is the animating power in the universe. It is moving, moving. Yes, because consciousness also is its child, the child of the Absolute. And in the body, it needs vital force, which is going to supply the food to combust, to provide the energy for consciousness to work. Then the consciousness at a certain point is going to go. Where? Just like when this body came, it had a context, had a place to be. Also the consciousness will have a place to be also. Just like much of our life is what your belief has made it, has flavored the life. It has produced the herbs and the spices of life that gets uniquely interpreted in the instrument of the body-mind. Then similarly with the consciousness, it will take some form for a while, depending upon your maturity presently. If you still have identity, strong identity, then that identity needs to come to terms with itself. It needs to work itself out. And it will need a form to do that. You will always need a form to do that. When you resolve your identity, then you have solved this mystery. But not when you only think you have. Okay,
I
thank you.
needed this check-in, thank you.
Good.
Pranam Gurudev. Well, I've sat here for the past hour or so, and everything is like words. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, okay.
And I think I could relate a bit only to the fact that living question thing. And my state is such that I question even that now. At times, like yesterday, I was at the Parmat Ashram, I was watching the Aarti and everything. It's beautiful, in a way. Yet I feel it's such a drama. It's like I'm just watching it. Even this is such a drama.
Okay.
What I'm doing, I'm asking this question, probably trying to seek your attention. And if these people who sit over here, as they say, and since we are talking on this wonderful topic, this topic of consciousness and the truth and everything, I think you're the best person in the room to ask about it. And thus I ask, what is happening to me? I really don't know. And if you have the answers, I won't go back today. I need the answer.
Okay. Then give me the question.
That's all I'm doing. Questioning. I can't see anything. I'm questioning. At times, it's beautiful. It's all concepts, the chakra, all that. It's
Good. I am with you. Okay. Let's put them aside then. What is of no value, let's leave aside. We won't talk about it.
But
you and me, we will not talk about it now.
Yes.
Okay? So what you have seen that has no interest for you, leave aside. We won't talk about it. Okay? What can we talk about now?
if you know it all, you'll know. That is all I know.
No, I don't know anything. That is the thing I'm sitting on.
I
right
won't
now.
go away with that.
Okay. What I mean by that, just to not give you words, I mean that What it means for me when I say I don't know anything means that I don't have, first of all, nothing in this world as a single inherent meaning. First thing, okay? Nothing in the world as one single meaning. It has the meaning that it has for you. Okay? It can be taken just like if we give the example, we go and watch a cricket match, and it's a World Cup, and there's 100 commentators. The match is only what it is. It cannot be other than what it is. But from 100 different reporters, you'll have 100 different reports. All watching the same match, but giving unique reports. So who has given the true report is the same thing. So everything is going through the filter of our conditioning. And this country is listening to a commentator that says, and goals we know, but other interpretations and people in the listening, the same radio broadcast, 1 million people listening in 1 million different ways. This is what I'm saying. So when I say I don't know anything, I don't have a fixed idea about anything, okay? That may feel for some people like, whoa, then what do we have to stand on? Well, I have myself to stand on. Everything as you speak, we can look. And I will question you also. You may come, have a question, I may question you, but somehow in our questioning, we're going to have something that's as pure as we can do with words, and then beyond the word. Now when I say I don't know anything, I'm not committed to any fixed perspective. Okay?
Still words. I want that feeling. I mean, as they say, again, it's I'm questioning it again, that we read and people talk about it, the feeling, and then some see lights and all the jazz.
Yes.
At times it happens, but I still question. I mean, I have to move forth, and I can't stop there. It's this deep yearning inside, and I have to move forth.
Okay.
And
forward mean what?
I don't know. Even that is, it's so confusing.
Okay, let's go. Yeah. If you don't trust anything that you have heard,
yes.
Okay,
yes.
Then leave it.
Fine.
Leave it. Okay. That means even if anything that can be formulated by any concept at all you're gonna say, well, it's just another concept.
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's leave all of it then. Okay.
Yes.
And you who also say, but everything is a concept. Are you other than concept?
No. In a way, I am also a concept, probably.
Yes, probably.
Yes, because I have to question.
No, not because of that.
But I feel so. That's what I feel.
But because that your position will keep on changing also. Something will keep on changing. And there's an awareness of this changefulness. Isn't it? Answer me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there's an awareness of even your own fluctuating moods and impressions also.
Very high.
So that is not stable also. So let's put that away also.
Right.
What remain? We take our time now. I am with you like this. Okay? We're not going to I'm not going to sell you any concept. Okay? And as many people want to join into this, I think it is a very beautiful opportunity you're giving me. Okay? You say, okay, Muji, shoot me with any concept. You can't hit me. Good, I agree. So let's do it together with them. Okay? So we're not going to try and convince you with any kind of ideology, philosophy, or belief system. Okay, we leave it. I'm happy with this. Okay? But it must also include yourself, who is not a stable factor in this. At least the one who has questions and, you know what, I want to find the experience, that is also not stable. So leave that also. And what remain?
Don't know.
Something remain. Whatever you can perceive, you can leave.
I can see everything. That's all I'm seeing.
Yeah, you can see. But even you're not seeing everything. You're seeing everything according to your conditioning. which is also conceptual.
Still words, Baba, still words.
No, you're not getting away with that.
How do
it's
I?
Okay, it's
How do
words,
I?
it's words.
How do I? That is the question. How do I? I want to. I really want to.
Yeah. You are what? You who want to. Give me some stable place that I can sit with it. I who want to is what?
My mind is blank.
Something sees blank also.
Maybe I don't have the words to express it.
So you see it, we just can't express it.
In a way, yes.
Then it doesn't need to be expressed. Expressing it is not the proof that it exists. And who is going to express it? It or you?
I really don't know. I really don't know.
You who don't know is what? No, it's serious. I mean, I'm totally with this man who's talking, and I'm very happy that you are speaking, no? But my questions still stand stronger than your assertion. You who say, but I really don't know, something knows that you don't know.
Probably some energy which is talking through this voice. It's a summation of everything that has happened till now, and it has come to this point and wants to ask this thing.
Yes,
Probably who I am right now.
yes. And is it satisfied with this interaction?
No.
And what knows that?
This energy. It knows that when it goes back from here, it
goes back to where?
to the world that this body lives in. Again, the confusion comes. Right now it's all nice and rosy. I'm sitting over here, it's fine and it's fun. When it goes back, it's again the same drama.
Yes.
Same tamasha.
It's not so for me.
Yes, I want to be in the state that you are in. I mean, what's wrong in it? What is the way? I don't know the way.
You have shown me just now that the place that you speak from, the one who even say this, that, okay, no concepts, I don't want any concepts now. I say, okay, I'm happy, no concepts. We don't have to have concepts for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We don't need it. No concept. Okay? But the one who says, I don't want any concept, is he other than a concept? And something came out of that body that says, yes, perhaps he's a concept also. And I said, well, if he's a concept, what knows it that he's a concept? And then you didn't say, I know it. You said some energy. Some energy is expressing in this body, and it's all nice and rosy now. But it wasn't rosy before. When you came up, you were saying, no, it's not rosy, nothing like that. Okay? No, it's all nice and rosy now. But what happened when I go out in the world? Sometimes people have said that. They say, it's really good here. But when I'm out there, so I said, okay, I would walk with you. You're here. You keep walking, okay, in here-ness until you reach there. Okay? You are here. He says, is here, I'm fine. But when I go out there, that's a different story. So I said, I'll walk with you in your here-ness until here-ness become there-ness. Let's go. When you reach the world, tell me, okay? We go. when we go back into the world. Boom, boom. Hello, Swamiji. Hey, that's it. That's him. He brought me back. And I said, no, that is not true. He did not distract you. You got distracted. And then you say, that's the world, you see? There are none of those things. I followed you all the way. I said, we're happy to drop the concepts, the deep belief in them. And I'm happy for that, to show you that you exist beyond concept. Concepts can be our playground for a little bit. We can enjoy or suffer them. But finally, ultimately, are you the perceiver of concepts? Are you also a concept? Well, certain forms, certain masks we wear are concepts. But absolutely, in your absoluteness, you are the one who knows knowledge and knows ignorance. It must come back to you. Who are you? And you cannot pass it on, I'm some energy over there. It's not fair, no. Speak from where you stand and confirm your substance. Who are you? And why should such a change? If you go out, with your body goes out, and it creates a kind of ambient change, is that not also weakness from the same place that not change happens to? It perceives all movements, but itself is not a movement. There is something in you that is not a movement. It is not participating in this in some direct way. But it allows for this. It sends energy through the various layers of its expression to say, give energy here, send love here, expound this thing. It allows that. It also allows negative things, so to speak. But there's no negative things. It's just negatively received, positively received.
I understand what you say with folded hands.
Yes. But
I experience these states as well.
Yeah.
I experience
yes.
that through mantra or something I can kind of calm and stay focused at times. And at
Okay,
times,
even without mantra now, I'll tell you. Even without mantra also. If you don't combine anything for a moment and simply leave everything, as you say, including the notion you have of yourself, leave it and come to a place which cannot be left and it cannot be held onto. That is what you are searching for. It created the illusion of a seeker just to provide a mirror in which it can gaze at itself, yet it has no form.
what do I do to fix this?
You can fix nothing. Screw up you can a little bit. But even that is not true. Even that power you don't have. Only in the realm of the play you may appear to have that power. Nobody has that power to act contrary to the will of God. Everything is within the permissive will of the Supreme Being. But it's only dream to Him who is here. You have to look behind the thin veil, the facade of a person. But you cannot look outwardly and find it. And when you turn inwardly, it will pull you beyond insideness and outsideness. And then the things of this world will not be so deeply fascinating for you, which is not a bad thing. Because this world needs a being that does not take it seriously. This world awaits a being that does not see it as a crisis, but as the divine expression, the body of God itself. It is the questions that trouble us. But if the answers come from the mind, they will also trouble you. If you ask a true question, the answer is also inside the question. And I love that you came here, you're here, and you can put such a question. Okay, I don't accept anything. I love it. Don't accept anything then. Not even you. And find out if you can cancel your own existence. The rest you seek is the truth of you. The fluctuating mind need not trouble you. It's you who trouble it. The fluctuating mind need not trouble you. It is you who get troubled by it. The nature of the mind is to ebb and flow. The nature of the mind is like wind. It needs space to roam about. But your heart, yourself, is like space. It is everywhere. It does not move about. The space can be without the wind, but the wind cannot flow without space. Mind is that flow, but your real self is the space. It is not disturbed by the wind. Only objects are disturbed by the wind. The space is never disturbed. This space you must discover. This life must become your opportunity for discovering that. I would put that as the highest opportunity in the human kingdom for intelligent beings.
Well, the life itself is so fleeting. I don't know if I go out and I get hit by a truck and it ends right over here. Why can't I get the answer now?
Every moment things are ending and taking birth. It's an incessant stream, you see? Your body you cannot guarantee. My attitude is like yours. Why not now? Someone once put that offer to myself also. Because I asked, please, will you pray for me? Next time you pray, will you pray for me? And he said, why not now? And that has never left me. I say to you, why not now? So we're on the same page when you say, I need to discover, I'm leaving, and I don't want to leave with confusion.
I won't leave. I'm telling you that.
Very good.
I'll sit there if I have to. I'll follow you. If they call me a stalker, I don't have a problem. But if you have the truth...
Actually, when I heard you say, I won't leave, I accepted it in the metaphysical sense.
Yes. And I don't know what that sense is.
Okay.
It's for you to help me with that.
I am.
Please help me.
Yes. But you have not taken my bait. You see? You have not taken... I put the line out. I've put the food in the water. I've put my tackle, everything I've put out. I've got the fire on. I'm ready to fry this fish. Everything is there. The seasoning is on the table. But you just... You have to go for it. And I'm hungry too. I want to eat somebody, I don't know. You look nice and juicy though.
Thank you. How now? How now?
How now?
I'm sorry. There's nothing else that comes to my mind. I know it's extremely amusing for everyone, but I have to get the answer.
But you have bypassed the answer. I told you. You said already. You already did half the work, 3/4 of the work. You said,
Yeah.
I don't want any concept.
That's fine.
Let's
Read
try
it,
again,
read it.
because maybe I will catch another fish. I fancy you, but you already said none of this. I don't want any conceptual presentation you're going to make. I'm going to reject it because it would just be another concept. I'm not touched by any concept. I was thrilled. You said, oh, you've done most of the work for me. we don't use any then. Forget about all the concept. But then you must also include in that whatever concept you're embracing as yourself also. Then you say, oh, okay, good. So then if everything is left aside, then I ask you what remains. I feel we are on a clean slate. We have wiped the board clean. Now what remains? And then you said, oh yeah, some kind of energy maybe that's speaking through this body to do. I said, who is seeing the energy? You see? Will the complainant step into the witness box, please? I want to see you. Who is speaking? So what is emerging is that there's just a kind of mental state speaking. A mental state is overriding or arising in the consciousness and saying, yes, but please help me. What happened when I go outside? I say, who is speaking? Whose mouth is it coming out of, those words? We're looking and we can't find. Then if we can't find the mouth, we may have to drop the case. I don't want to.
Nor do I. But there has to be something to do it.
Yeah, but you must establish your identity as what are you speaking, you see? Because maybe someone else would have used the same thing. Say, look, it's coming closer in, it's closer, and it says closer to what? Not my body, yeah? But your body you can see is not you. Where must we go to find you? Your body cannot be you also. The senses also, the tongue tastes, but it's not the tongue that desires. The mind, you see, the eyes see, but it is the mind that interprets the seeing. Then what is the mind also? Because you can speak about your mind, you can speak about your thoughts. And the one who can speak about the thoughts, what is aware of this one also? All these are immediate questions, immediate responses. You see? Everything is being moved away from you. All your ground is taken away now. You cannot make one step. You're standing on a needle. Who are you? Don't go to your head, you see. You're going to your head, and your head is going to keep on throwing up another kind of thing. And if you allow it, it will keep on doing this for a long time. It has done long enough already. You will not get an answer to your head that you'll be satisfied with. You already told me you don't want any concepts, so don't entertain any yourself. If you touch no concept, including concept of energy, and leave everything then what remain then? It's already there before you think of it. Your very attempt to think of it is perceived in it. It does not come and go. It has no opinion about anything at all. And yet, nothing can appear or disappear or exist without it. It is the womb of existence. You believe in yourself as an I who can get it. But I see that I as non-existent. It's not true. You believe in your identity as one who is apart from it, and you believe it into existence, and it becomes your experience. And it seems like I must try and find a contrary thought or a medicine thought to satisfy this thought. But I throw all of them away. And then what remain? I'm asking, what remain? This question is for everyone who hears it. If you listen inside your heart, your mind will already be in samadhi, meaning it is already naturally merged in the heart. But if you listen only with your head, you'll feel a sense of dissatisfaction, a dissatisfaction that can never be satisfied, because the nature of the mind is to be restless until it finds the heart. When mind finds the heart, mind becomes heart.
That I get.
Yes.
In fact, I feel, the best, if to express in terms of the best feeling, just in feelings terms, I think it's best expressed in the form of love. Crazy outpouring of love from inside.
Yes. All this is love.
I didn't get you. I'm sorry.
All of this is love. All of it is love. It is for love's sake that these discussions can take place. It is love in the form of the vital force that is putting these questions in that body also and answering them through this body.
Yet, Gurudev, there are instances when I feel that. It's not that I don't. I think it's the mind which confuses. You're very right over
Yes.
there.
Mine arises, but only belief and identity create confusion. You need not be confused. It was like an example I give many times. A certain satsang was taking place in Mumbai some years ago, in the satsang of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. And during the discourse, one man stood up and said, Sri Maharaj, please, I have to confess something. I listened to your words and I am touched by your words. But if I am to be really honest with you, I must confess that I'm always experiencing suffering. And the master says, no, it is not true. You're not experiencing suffering. You are suffering, you're experiencing. I am experiencing suffering. He says, no, you're not experiencing suffering. Suffering is not a thing, it's more of an attitude. Pain is something. You are not experiencing suffering, you are suffering, you're experiencing. In the same way, you say the mind is disturbing me and so on. You are being disturbed by your mind, but it's a choice. It need not be. If you are simply aware that mind comes up with these type of things, after all, it has been somehow identified as I as well, so it arises and like this, and you are for a long time associated with it, even called it yourself. So it will keep on coming because it meets no resistance. It is always speaking to its number one fan. So he's been very stable, very happy doing his work. But now you are searching for truth. And he's saying, no, 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 no. Naughty boy. You and me belong together. You see? And the more you try to be free from him, he's going to, for a while. And he will keep on doing it in whichever way that works. Whether it's in the form of a lot of questions, lots of doubts, lots of resistance, lots of judgments, or for some people it might be something else. Keep on bringing up new people that you like. Oh, this is very nice, and you're gone again. Or different, whatever distractions will work for you, it may arise at that until you transcend it. And it is not bad that the mind plays in this way, because it can only catch the idea you have of who you are and not your true self. And so when it's like that, the pain compels you to find your truth, which you will not find if you have a life just cozy and sweet and nice. You will go to sleep. You would go to sleep. If your life is too cozy, comfortable, everything, you will go to sleep. And sleep, for an intelligent being, sleep of ignorance. So these things, the life lights a fire under you that you have to keep moving until you find that rest. And that rest is inside your heart. This you must find. I take it for granted you come to Satsang to discover this.
I get what you say. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for now. Okay. We'll take another one more. Is it you? Can come? Okay, good.
Hi, Guruji.
Hi, darling.
A year ago, your pointing and grace helped me to see that I was no longer the person, but presence.
Yes.
And I have been falling into a deeper sense of silence, and there's still arising conditioning, but it's easily seen when I just question who is it that is experiencing this, or so. My other question is, I've had the experience also of no I, no self, like I don't even occur to me, if that makes any sense.
Go ahead.
So I guess what I'm wondering is, do I continue to stay in the presence and just let it continue to burn
You will stay.
the rest of the conditioning?
Yes, you will stay in presence as presence itself. And also about the things that arise, they don't just arise and you say, for whom is it only? But also sometimes what is keep on arising and what's being highlighted are some remnants from the old regime of identity that keeps coming up, that are still alive inside. But now you're in a best position to transcend their influence now, you see? Because there's two directions here. One is we assume that you are a person which is an incomplete state of consciousness, and that you have accepted that your mind is like this, and you have a lot of work. Sometimes people come and they say, I still feel like I have a lot of work to do, I've got a lot of cleaning to do. But I practice my sadhana, I continue with my meditation, I practice my japa, I sit alone, so on, whatever, and I'm getting there. So that's mainstream. Many people believe that. Why I say mainstream? Because most people accept as a fact that they are their body and they are their conditioning, that they have a sense that they are a stable being, a stable entity in this body called a person. But that person is not stable. What is stable is relatively to the person is the sense of presence. The mind is drawing on the sense of presence, which is more constant than the ego is, and saying, yes, but I feel like I'm here all the time, and so on. But that ego state you will live through for a while, like this. So when it comes to that point, and then there's the other version, the other way, which is more what is being presented here, is that rather than spending so much time trying to perfect the mind, use that time to discover what your true self is. When you come to see it, and which is the one who observes the mind also, as you come to discover this, then whatever fragments, whatever is left from your negative conditioning, you'll be able to see them and identify them more clearly, and with the power and grace of the self, those seeds will be burnt more easily. This is what is happening in your case. You're saying like this, but sometimes when things come inside, we go, yes, for who is it happening? And it seems to work like it seems to vanish. But I would persist with that and don't buy that response too quickly, because sometimes when we ask for whom is it happening, especially if it's something very strong, and you say, for who is really suffering this, it vanish. It can be a hoax vanishing. Sometimes the mind just pretend to be a possum, falls over. He's not really dead. So you stay with him and stay, well, okay, it seems to like this has vanished here. But still this energy is present. And stay with it a bit to confirm once, twice, 3 times, keep looking. So you really scorch those seeds, you see. So other times it's just that some things come up and you see that in your interaction with other beings, perhaps where there's still some investment in the sense of a person. And then you can also do your inquiry in this, okay, this person is, what is this person? What does it want, you see? And just being very quiet with the question, you start to see the noise of the person, the desire that keeps keeping the sense of person going. This is your work, and it can be finished. Even after you have awakened to a large extent to what the self is, those seeds may still continue, remnants from your, thank you, very good, remnants from the past still coming in. Now you know that they belong to the earth mind, earth body. But it's not enough to say, yes, they just belong there. You have to look at them because they want to be on the increase. And while they are there, they are the potential to pull you back into personhood. That is their work in some way. It is like that. But it's not a forever work. You do, and then at a time you weaken these weeds, the weed growth. And at a certain point they're finished. You see, you may start to mow your lawn from the beginning, and it's got all kind of different mixtures in it, weeds and good grass and everything. You keep on doing it, you will left only with good grass. The weeds will just get frustrated, and the weeds that I'm speaking about here is those bad tendencies. They will get burnt. But first you must come to see if you have investment in them. Sometimes we have an attachment to these energies because they are sweet, but they're sweet more to the body-mind than to the presence. So this is a subtle work. And the more you stay in satsang, the guidance will come through your inner being more than just through the spoken word. But it will come also through spoken word if it is needed, you see.
Thank you, Guruji.
Very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. 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 What I'm going to do, because I'm feeling a little tired with this, is I feel that much of what I've shared with you today is powerful enough if it sinks inside the heart's field. And so for that, what I would like to do, I'm going to slowly bring this session to an end. Those of you who feel you want to go to lunch, then please leave and go to lunch quietly. And those who have their posts to fill, they can do this. But I'm going to have a short break in a while, just for 5 minutes. And I want to come back and I want to sit in silence for maybe 15 minutes or so, 15, 20 minutes with you. And this has also a very important, also, because it will help to register what we have shared inside your heart more strongly. So we're going to have some music, and after this, then we will free everyone up to leave if you want. It's coming on the moment. Thank you. I have to say sometime that apart from leaving to go to the bathroom, it is not courteous to leave the room before your teacher leaves. But because you're not all my students or something, then we say, okay, let people go as they want. And it was happening before where people were going out to join the line for darshan and missing some important aspect of what I was pointing out. And I feel this is not right, because I have no words to waste that you should do that.
Silence, the look in your eyes, melting into you, into me, with complete abandon. Hands so soft everything. For you are the air that I breathe, and this is the only moment, so I would like to declare. And I'm breaking free from all the choices that I made before. Wipe the slate clean so I can open to my rawest form. Inviting love, inviting truth, through clear perceptions gleam. I share myself from depths in which the world reflects at my love's core. A galaxy of time and space, it reflects in your eyes. I think about the journey that little spark of light undertook in a sleeping mind. Oh, that tossing and turning, or so it perceived. Turns out the chaos was perfect, for you see, it's what led us right here. For you are my everything. For you are the air that I breathe, and this is the only moment, so I would like to declare. And I'm breaking free from all the choices that I made before. Wipe the slate clean so I can open to my rawest form. Inviting love, inviting truth, through clear perceptions gleam. I share myself from depths in which the world reflects at my love's core. Oh, thanks. And Muji, I love you.
Okay. I was just going to take a few minutes just to wash my hands and face, come back. For those of you who would like to leave now for lunch, you may do so. And those who would like to stay and sit in silence with me for 15 minutes or so, you are very welcome to stay. At the end of the silent period, you may feel you want to sit or lie down. This is perfectly okay. Or you may come and join us for lunch. Okay, thank you. Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Om Shri Arunachala Shiva Mahadev. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Punjaji. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Christ. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Buddha. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Anandamayi Ma. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Yogiram Surat Kumar. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Mahadevaki. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Bankai. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ram. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. In a few moments, you'll hear the sound of the bell. And then you may open your eyes and to move if you feel the need to move. It should not make any difference to your inner state, whether eyes open, eyes closed. And this silence which is in you, which is your own inner peace and natural state, prevails and underlies all activities of the body-mind. From here, you'll be able to continue observing actions, reactions, interactions taking place quite spontaneously, without any disturbance to your inner state. Those of you who would like to stay behind, and you may do so. Others may leave and take lunch and